Hi out, Rayvers. I'm back with a brand new series of reviews. And kicking us off this week, we've got another visit to a dystopian vision of the future as we try to escape from New York. Yeah, John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Now, I'll give it a bit of context here, because it was made in 1981, I believe. So that 1988 were actually the future then, even though it's 30 odd years ago now. Anyway, we get this voiceover telling us that Manhattan has become a high security prison.
The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected along the New Jersey shoreline, across the Harlem River, and down along the Brooklyn shoreline. It completely surrounds Manhattan Island.
Now, I'm into this already. I think this is a great premise. You know, they've basically just built a wall around New York, chucked all the crims in there, and told them to fend for the sins. Sort of thing you can imagine them doing with the Isle of Wight or something like that. Except I hope not. I like the Isle of Wight.
The rules are simple. Once you go in, you don't come out.
Yes, once you go in, you can't come out. And then it tells us it's 1997, which apparently is now. But it ain't now, because it was 16 years in the future then. Or 25 years in the past now, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyway, whilst turning New York into a giant prison seems like a neat solution, it becomes a problem when the president's plane, Air Force One, gets hijacked by these terrorists. And the president, played by Donald Pleasence, is forced to escape in this escape pod shaped like a giant baby bell. And he gets jettisoned out into New York as the plane crashes. Anyway, the president's there stranded in New York with all these criminals. And the police, led by tough guy Lee Van Cleef, try to rescue the president, but they're too late. And they find the president's giant baby bell escape pod empty because the criminals have already got out on him. Yeah, I'd love to know the physics of that escape pod. It looks very stylish, but if it's got the same aerodynamics as a baby bell, then presumably they just jettisoned him out of the plane and he was bouncing around New York City before he came to a stop.
Baby Bell, the little cheese that likes to get out.
Yeah, he'd have been dead instantly. Oof, wouldn't mind a baby bell now. Feeling quite peckish. Have we got any cheese in, love? Have we got any cheese? Some cheese and biscuits, maybe? Is she not there? She ain't there. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some cheese. I'm going to have cheese on the brain now. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, as I say, the criminals have already snatched the president, as evidenced by his severed bloody finger. Ooh. Yeah, and they tell the police to op it. So Lee Van Cheese has to resort to plan B. And this is where the main man comes in. Disgraced former Special Forces soldier Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell. Despite being awarded a purple arse, he'd apparently been convicted of robbing the Federal Reserve. So they make him an offer.
I have a deal for you. You receive full pardon for every criminal action you've committed in the United States. Find the president, bring him out in 24 hours, and you're a free man.
24 hours, huh?
Now, I'm sure you'll have noticed that in loads of these action films, they raise the stakes, they raise the tension a bit by having the hero need to do something within some time constraints. A tickling cock, if you will. You know, like Ripley in Aliens, where she has to rescue Newt before the nuclear reactor blows up. Or James Bond in anything, where he's frantically trying to deactivate a bomb and the clock always stops on 007 or something like that. Anyway, they have that tickling cock in this and all. Because firstly, the president has got 24 hours to get to some crucial peace summit to deliver a vital message that's on this tape. And if he doesn't get there to deliver this crucial message on this tape, then the world's going to descend into global nuclear war or some such. And then to raise the stakes even further, Lee Van Cleef, he doesn't trust Snake Plissken. He thinks he might just bugger off and do a runner. So he injects him with these micro-explosives that will blow up and sever his carotid arteries if he don't get the president out in time. And understandably, Plissken is pretty cheesed off about this. So, Plissken flies into New York Cathedral City and he starts running around this vandalised, graffiti-riddled New York to try and locate and retrieve the president as quickly as he can. I reckon they should have sacked the set designer here. Totally unrealistic. Look at that graffiti. Not a single todger anywhere. That would never happen. And another thing I thought were daft, he's got 24 hours to find him. New York? I've been to New York. It's massive. But he works out where the president is after about 5 minutes. It would have taken him ages to track him down. Bloody ludicrous.
Now, where's the president?
The Duke got him. Everybody knows the Duke's got him.
Anyway, it turns out the president's been nabbed by the city's big cheese, the Duke, played by Isaac Hayes. Yeah, Isaac Hayes, legendary soul man who composed the iconic theme tune for you know who.
Who is a man? Can we risk his neck for his brother, man?
Cheese! Shaft. It was Shaft. Anyway, the Duke's plan is to use the president as a human shield to help him get out of New York and escape back into society. But of course, Plissken, he chucks a spanner in the works, doesn't he? But not before he's got captured a few times, and found he's sending some scrapes. Like when the baddies force him into this ring to have a scrap with this seriously strong cheddar fella. Now, I wondered here at this point, I didn't realise that tattoo he's got. That's a snake, which obviously is obvious when you think about it. But I thought it looked more like a squirrel's tail going down into his trousers. And I wondered whether he were one of these like Freddie Starr type people. Were it Freddie Starr who shoved hamsters down his trousers or something? Or were it Richard Gere? I can't remember. Were Freddie Starr, did he eat the hamster? Or were it gerbils? I don't know. I thought maybe he's one of them weirdos, you know. Sorry, I've just realised I'm not casting aspersions on the late Freddie Starr or Richard Gere. What they choose to do with rodents is up to them. Crikey. Is this libelous? Can I get sued for this? I take it all back. It weren't them. I'll shut up. Now, obviously, what with this being a John Carpenter film, it means you've got one of his minimalist synthesizer soundtracks where he's composed his sound. I'm sure I mentioned this before, but he used to do all his own music a lot for his films. Doesn't seem that complex, the music. Seems very simple. But to be fair, it does give these films an atmosphere. It does create a mood, which is very effective, I think. And what with all the tickling cocks that the director set up, the race against time to get the president out of there. And the fact that Plissken's still got these explosives in his neck, what need deactivating. It does create a tension throughout the film. But there just seem to be a lot of good actors in this who were a little bit wasted. Isaac Hayes didn't do much at all. And nor did Donald Pleasence. He's great, Donald Pleasence, but he didn't really do a lot. Nor did Lee Van Cleef. And Ernest Borgnine turns up in it as a taxi driver with learning difficulties, I think. He seemed a bit superfluous to requirements. But arguably, Kurt Russell does provide us with one of the iconic 80s action heroes, doesn't he? Yeah, his one-eyed snake is very impressive. And understandably, Hollywood wanted him to whip out his one-eyed snake again for a sequel, Escape from Philadelphia. But I don't think it was that good, by all accounts. I ain't seen it. Now, whilst he might be iconic, I don't know whether he's more heroic or more of a stupid pillock. Because at the end of the film, spoiler alert, after he's rescued the president, it transpires that he switched the tape. And it ain't the crucial peacekeeping message what we thought it were going to be. It's one of Ernest Borgnine's car tapes. And the final shot is Plissken walking off, ripping the original tape to pieces, presumably consigning the entire world to imminent nuclear war. I mean, there's being subversive and anarchic, And then there's being a complete bellend. So, on to today's ratings, and what with this being a dystopian science fiction film, I was hoping it would be a 3-star film. As you should know by now, this is my cup of tea. I like dystopian science fiction films. But, yeah, I was a bit disappointed with it. I thought the premise was great, but didn't really deliver for me. Still worth a watch, but just felt it could have been better, you know. So I'm rating Escape from New York a 2-star, 3-star film. And you know, I've dug my daughter Maxine's keyboard out from the loft. Blooming thing's been gathering dust up there since she was a kid. She never used it. Anyway, I've been inspired to try and create my own John Carpenter-esque minimalist theme tune. How hard can it be? Let's have a dabble. Here we go. What do we got? Yeah, that sounds perfectly good, that, doesn't it? Perfectly good John Carpenter dystopian science fiction theme tune, that. Now, I've got a theme tune. All I need to do is come up with an idea for a film. I wonder where I can get my inspiration from.
Climate change has led to rising sea levels. Most of the UK is now underwater. Mass relocation of civilians has resulted in severe overcrowding in towns and cities. The city of Nottingham has seen population numbers rise by over 1,000%. And scarcity of basic sundries has led to widespread rioting and looting. Retired pensioner and former Special Forces soldier Ray Ruttle is forced to defend his family's supply of cheese and toilet rolls from vicious gangs of bloodthirsty raiders.
Bugger off! Get out of it! Get out of it! Get off my cheese! No, well, I hope you enjoyed that, Rayvers. I'll be honest, I ain't enjoying this dystopian future I've created for my son. Hopefully I'll be back to normal for next week. Anyway, poke the like button. If you liked it, give it a good poke in. Share our reviews with your mates. And of course, subscribe if you ain't already a subscriber. And I'll be back next week, all being well. Bugger off, man! Bugger off! Back next week, all being well. Taking a look at the Victorian heist film, The First Great Chain Robbery. In the meantime, I've got to hope I don't get robbed of my cheese and my bog roll. So, yeah, bloody hell. Get out of it! Yeah.